Having those with living experiences sitting on boards, discussing their experiences, it brings truthfulness and honesty to decision-making tables. When people share with an open heart and an open mind, many things can happen. Many changes can be made. Poverty and homelessness can happen to anyone at any time. So this is the time that we need to stand together, sit at these tables, make changes, so then nobody else has to go and have these stories.
Canada should end poverty because it is the right thing to do for its citizens, for its new citizens, for its future citizens.
This is an extremely wealthy country. There's no reason for anyone to be homeless or to live in poverty.
Ending poverty makes an equal plane for everybody. We don't have to be competing. We wouldn't have to be, there wouldn't be power and control. It would be everybody as human beings the way we're supposed to be.
The reason why we need to end it so much is that it's starting to tear apart the nuclear families, starting to affect people in so many ways that you can't help but know somebody that's suffering at one point that's living in poverty.
Because hunger creates stress. And with stress, we become incapacitated and are no longer able to learn and function.
We shouldn't have children going hungry. We shouldn't be having children with a lack of access to education.
It would cost the government less money to lift people out of poverty than to continue forking out all this money for sectors that they can't no longer afford.
Because many of the issues that we think about on a daily basis, things like healthcare, crime, race, relationships, education, are all directly impacted by poverty. So it's like a domino effect. When we knock down one, which is poverty, then we automatically can be one step closer to tackling the others. That is why we simply cannot afford to ignore the abounding issue. I believe that in order for any effort of ending poverty to be successful, we first have to see the urgency of the issue. We have to see it or treat it as an emergency crisis.
The most important recommendation, I believe, is to have lived experiences on boards. Recognize that they're the experts and empower them to lift their voices to make changes.
You have to look at the little people, and you have to learn how to build people from the bottom up. They need to be built up spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically.
We need to have a universal basic income in Canada. It needs to be set at regional levels. What it costs to live in Toronto versus Williams Lake, BC, or up north is different.
Puts it in, or when the federal government has the courage to do this, they should make it so that no government coming in after them can cut it out.
The government isn't in favor of that. They could implement programs that rapidly bring people out of poverty. You can do that with free post-secondary education, lowering prices on housing, because housing is ridiculous.
We need to continue to support people with mental health issues, people with disabilities, by providing income supports that are growing with the economy. So we need to make sure that we're providing them an accurate living allowance so that they are not forced to live in poverty.
If we just spend the money in a smarter way, then poverty can go away within the next 10 years.
The thing I love about Tamarack is they focus on community, bringing community together, no matter what social economic background you have. And we often forget that poverty isn't just about money, it's about connections with other people. We need to focus on that, and especially in the time of a pandemic and after a pandemic, is what skills can we all bring together and share and be a part of society with dignity and respect.
We should end poverty if we seek to preserve the dreams of not only this generation, but the ones to follow, because the children of tomorrow are the ones that will guide us into a better future. So what are we teaching our children of today if we do absolutely nothing about poverty? If we say that we truly believe in the dignity of life for humans of this country and humans everywhere, then any poverty should be first on our minds. We are stronger together, and when we actively do something to be part of the solution to ending poverty, we all win.